which um, coming off of somebody else's. So who knows what I got? And Romero with 8. Had to start a whole new book because the other one filled up. This is Monday, November 24th, 2014. Good morning, John. What do you got to say today?
Good morning, Paul. Yeah, this is actually kind of going to be, I'm afraid, a slow week for most people because a lot of people are going to be in holiday mode, but not us Warriors. We're going to take the opportunity, I think, of the world kind of slowing down around us. And you know what? Keep charging ahead, playing it at 100%, and stay leaps and bounds ahead of our competition, and stay leaps and bounds ahead of the average man. And I'm actually real excited for the presentation today, Paul. I wasn't able to attend Friday, but I know you did a review of Chapter 2, which is napkin presentation number 1, which shows the power of leverage and duplication by showing you how simple our business model is by simply having 5 people within your organization that you work closely with. And Paul show you how those numbers work out when you have 5 serious people bringing in 5 serious people, and on down the line, and how those numbers really add up, and the power of you not thinking you have to go sponsor hundreds and hundreds of people into this organization to make a lot of money, but how simple it is in the fact that we focus on 5 people, teaching and training those 5 people. And Paul did an excellent job last week showing us how those numbers look, and I'm real excited to get into it today. So I'm just going to toss it over to Paul and let him get on with the presentation.
Can you see that better now?
That works pretty good for me.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Exactly. So we talked about how you get 2, they get 2 on down the line, and worked it all the way across to 5 and all that. Well, today I'm going to talk a little bit about what's important to you, and I'm going to kind of translate what all this means into actual dollars. So this can really get you excited, okay? So as we talked about with napkin presentation number 2, you're going to look at somebody and you're going to say, okay, so you're up here, in actuality right now, this is me, and I'm bringing you into my organization. I'm going to bring one other person, and I'm going to teach the 2 of you how to go out and get 2 people into the organization. So when the 2 of you bring in 2, then there's going to be 4 new ones. And then I'm going to turn around and I'm going to train you how to teach your 2 people, right? I'm going to train you how to teach your 2 people, which are here, that's right, how they can go out and get 2 people each, which will bring 8 people into the organization, 8 new people into the organization. Then once we're there, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to help you to teach or to train your 2 people to teach their 2 people how to bring 2 people into the organization, which then brings in 16. Okay? That's how it works, is basically, I'm going to teach you, first of all, how to bring in 2 people. Then I'm going to train you how to teach your 2 people how they can bring in 2 people. And then I'm going to help you to train your 2 people how to teach their 2 people how to bring in 2 people. And that is how this perpetuates on, because once I've taught you and trained you and helped you to train your other people, then you're going to move on and you're going to help your people, because you will have already taught and trained them. Now you're going to help your other people. You're going to help their people to train their people how to teach their people, and et cetera and so on. So it just goes on down the line like that. It keeps going, and that's how this is able to continue on going 16 times 2 is 32, and 32 times 2 is 64, and 64 times 2 is 128, and on down the line. And that's how it's able to happen, and that's how an organization builds. And the beautiful thing about that is that's how an organization builds and grows without you doing any more to it. It goes on without you. And that's an important key factor that we'll get into later. But for right now, what I wanted to talk about here, what I wanted to show you guys was the fact that, okay, yeah, we've got 16 people in the organization that are new, but they came from these 8, so that's 24. And then these 8 came from these 4, so that's 28. No, wait a minute. That's 26, and that makes 30. And then the 2 originally that you brought in, that we're going to consider this as you now, the 2 that you originally brought in means that you now have 32 people in your organization, right? Well, if you have 32 people, just the base bottom line, and this is not including any of the incentives or any of the different levels that you can elevate to, which pay differently and give you more. There's a whole bunch of other things that go with it. All I'm talking about here is the absolute base amount that you get, that you would receive on a monthly basis for having these people in your organization, for them just continuing to stay in the organization, whether as an independent business owner or as a member. Okay, and what we're talking about right here is just the independent business owners. So if you have 32 people in your organization, you're going to be getting a check right here for $165 every month. That's pretty good, right? I mean, what could you do with 165 bucks, right? I mean, you could probably pay your electric bill for life, right? Just take that one off the table. You never have to pay your electric bill ever again, right? So then we talked about moving over to having 3 people in your organization. And with that, we talked about, you get 3, you're up here again, you get 3 times 3, you get 3, you teach them how to get 3, then there's 9 new ones, then you train your 3 how to teach their 3 how to get 3, and then you have 27, and then you help your people train their people how to teach their people to get 3, and then you've got 81. And again, like I said, 81 plus 27 plus 9 plus 3, you've got 120 people in your organization. You guys aren't seeing the very top of that, are you? You've got 120 people in your organization. So when you have 120 people in your organization, this base level is now bringing you $540 a month. So with $540 a month, what can that bring you? That can bring you a whole lot, right? I mean, and look at the difference right there we talked about. So $540 a month, I mean, you're paying your power bill, you're paying your gas bill, you're paying your cell phone bill, you're probably paying your, if you have a landline at home, or maybe your water bill or something like that. All those bills gone off the table. You never have to worry about it again. I like relating this to my bills because a lot of people look at money and they start thinking, oh, how can I spend it? How can I spend it? What can I do with an extra $500, right? But if you relate this to your bills and you consider eliminating what you need to have coming in every month in order to live, if you use this money to eliminate those things, this is how you work your way towards financial freedom, and this is what this is all about, is creating and getting to financial freedom. Wouldn't you say, John?
Oh, absolutely. And I just want to throw in there that you're only training one more person, and at the bottom of the presentation, you see what the difference between just training one more people, just in the amount of people within the organization, and just the impact that has on your dollar amount. I mean, that's all you're doing is bringing on one more person, and it increases by, your income increases 4.5 times. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, 165 to 504, and you only brought in one more person, and you only worked with 3 people instead of 2 people, and that's what it generated, only 4 levels down. Imagine how this goes when it gets to 5 levels and 6 levels and 7 levels. It's insane. So anyway, yeah, that's a good point, John. So yeah, like I said, if you relate this to, like I said, the fact that you have $165 in the month, well, what can you do with $165 every month? It doesn't seem like a whole lot, but you know what? If you could walk up to one of your friends and say, guess what? I don't ever have to pay my electric bill again for the rest of my life. You don't think they'd be going, really? How'd you do that? I mean, this is a great introduction. This is a great way to get people excited about your business and a way to recruit people in. If you told your friends that you didn't have to pay an electric bill for the rest of your life, don't you think they'd want to know about how you're doing it? So, okay, now what we're going to do here is we're going to work with just one more person, right? 4 people instead of 3. And what we have here, obviously, we talked about yesterday, Friday, we have 4 people that you bring into your organization, and you're going to teach them how to go out and bring 4 more people into the organization, 4 each now, so 4 times 4, and now you have 16 new people in your organization. Now you're going to train your 4 how to teach their 4 how to bring in 4 people, and then there's 64 new people in the organization, and then you're going to help your people you're going to help your 4 to train their 4 how to teach their 4 how to bring in 4 people, and now you've got from 16 to 81 to 256. I mean, that is crazy, isn't it?
It's
Because I
amazing.
don't, huh?
No, it's just amazing because you're just working with just one more people. You're
One more.
working with 4 people, and you
Yeah.
have the efforts of 256 plus people behind you.
More than that, because you got 256 plus you have 64 plus you have 16 plus you have 4. You've actually got a grand total of 340 people in your organization. Okay. You guys see this red dotted line right here?
Yes.
Okay. That's because in the Swiss Gold Global pay scale, you get paid X amount for your first 2 levels, and then it changes, and you get a lower amount for the next 5 levels, and then it changes again, and then you get a lower amount for the rest of your levels in perpetuity forever. I mean, you could go on to a billion freaking levels and you still get paid. Imagine that. How much would that be if you only got $1 a piece and you were a billion levels down? I'd be like trillion. You could pay off the U.S. deficit in a weekend. Maybe we should get the government in on this.
Yeah.
So 256, 340 people in your organization. And what do you have? $1,750 a month. Are you kidding me? $1,750 a month, and you're only working with 4 people. What can you do with $1,750 a month? Well, I'm sure that's probably paying off your mortgage or your rent every month. It's very good chance. I mean, if you live in a nice house, hey, maybe that's all it's doing. But again, can you imagine if you went to your friends and said, hey, guess what? I never have to pay my mortgage again. You think they'd get a little excited about that, John?
They want to know how it's being done, and
And
we
that's
can show them the system for doing it.
a perfect invitation to bring them into Swiss Gold Global, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so then what we talked about yesterday was 5 people. We're working with 5 people now, right? So we have 5, you bring in 5, you teach them how to get 5, you train them how to teach them how to get 5, 125, you help them to train them to teach them how to get 5, 625 people in your organization. In actuality, we already talked about this too. It's actually 780 people that you have total in your organization. And what do you have for a base pay level? $3,475 a month. Right there, 95% of this country is probably financially free. Don't have to go to work in order to pay their bills and feed their families and pretty much live the life that they're living right now. They could quit their jobs and live the same life that they're living right now and never have to go to work again. How would that feel, right? Okay, so the thing about this whole thing now is the fact that, all right, as you're getting your 2 people or your 3 people or your 4 people or your 5 people, don't think that you're just going to go out there, right, and talk to 5 people and they're going to, boom, automatically sign up and be your gold ships that are out there doing this, right? So you're going to have to go through, maybe, who knows, 5, 10, 15, maybe 20 people before you actually find a serious gold ship who's going to be able to do this business like this, correct? So along the way, in talking to those extra people, you're probably going to get anywhere from, it's kind of said that it averages out over time that you're going to have 10 members. You're going to have 10 members for every gold chip. So for each one of these 5 people that you have, there's going to be 10 members on the side that aren't doing the business. They just are using the product and service. So if you have 10 members using the product and service, and you have 780 members in your organization that are working the business, and they each have 10 customers who are using the product and service, you got 7,800 people that are paying each month for their subscription, which you get paid from each and every month. And the numbers on that are just astronomical. I think I worked something out, and I'm not quite exactly sure because I did this 2 days ago. So I'm just going to kind of leave it off at that. But I mean, even if I know I figured this out, even if you had 5 members in your organization that have built down this far, and even if along the way they only added 2 um, just members each along the way instead of 10, that would mean that you had a total of 2,340 people in your organization, which would translate out to $11,550 a month. That's if you had 5 people that you started with who each had 5 all the way down, and that's only to this level here, which is 1, 2, 3, 4 levels in, okay? And if they, along the way, only found 2 people each who signed up as members who wanted to use the product and service, then that would give you 2,340 members in your organization, which would be generating for you $11,550 a month, up from 3,000. I mean, that's living the high life right there. And then, like I said, the crazy thing is you look at this right here, and you go down to the next level, and I don't even know, I didn't even do that, but just relating it over here, 16, and everybody gets 2 more, and that's 32. 625, and everybody gets 5 more. That's insanity. Okay, that is crazy money coming in. And like I said, the whole thing is the fact that once you get down to this point, that is where we get into the next chapter of duplication and duplicating yourself, and we're going to talk about that tomorrow, or not tomorrow, but on Wednesday. So,
Hey, Paul,
John?
I just quickly ran that number real quick based on the commissions. And if you actually had that organization of 780, who each person within the organization had their 10 customers, it's over $17,000 a month you'd have of passive income.
Yeah, exactly.
So, would you be financially free with that? And the amazing thing is, after you train your 5 and you've been duplicated, as Paul said, we'll get into the next chapter, you can always go ahead, because we're only ever working with 5, and I know I'm getting ahead of the game here a little bit, but this is just so exciting to keep in mind that you don't have to stop there. Once you've got your 5 trained, and you can go and find another one, another 5. You don't have to stop just because you found your 5. Once they're trained, now, because you never want to be working with more than 5, because we're in the business of teaching and training, not just recruiting. So you work with your 5 until you're duplicated within those people, and you can go out and find another one. And you imagine, for every leg of 5 people, if you were making $17,000 a month and you had 5 legs, that's almost $100,000 a month. And it's possible, and people are doing it in this business, which is why it's amazing.
Yeah, and like I said, the whole thing, the fact of it continuing to go on and on and on, when you built it down to that level right there, and it goes on without you, who knows what it can turn into. So I wanted to kind of give out an action step here. We talked about this the other day about building your list, right, of people, 10 people. I think we said a list of 10 people that you would love to spend time with on a vacation. Okay, I want you to take that list. If you haven't created it, Go back. We want you now to create that list of 10 people that you would love to spend some time with on a vacation, somewhere fancy in the world, wherever. It doesn't matter. Hawaii, on the beach all week. It doesn't matter. Whatever you want. But some people that you would just love to be able to do that with. And just consider it a short little non-expensive vacation. Consider it, say, a 5-day cruise. We're here in Phoenix. Let's consider it a 5-day cruise, which you can get cruises for 2 people can get an inside room for 5 days for under $500. So I mean the cost to drive to LA, get on the boat because you can drive right to the boat. Get on the boat. Let me call it a ship because I know somebody I know that gets offended when I call them boats. Drive to LA, get right on the ship, go out. You've already paid for everything. You don't really have to buy and pay for anything while you're on the ship. If you drink alcohol, that's always going to be extra. But other than that, I mean, there's plenty of free food, plenty of free things to do. There are things that you can pay extra for, but I mean, if you really just wanted to go the cheapest route, you pay for nothing on the ship. It's all provided for you for the 5 days that you're out there in the $500 that you paid. And then and then you come back, you get off the ship, you get in your car, you drive home. So you got gas money 2 directions and the money that costs. So it's a very inexpensive vacation, right? So I want you to just consider a very short, cheap vacation, something like that. And you want to take these 10 people on there, and you'd like to invite them to come with you, right? So what I want you to do with the list of 10 is I want you to spend a little bit of time, and I want you to ask yourself a question that if you extended this invitation to these 10 people, would they be able to accept? And consider a couple of different time frames. Consider like if I called up John and I said, "Hey John, man, listen, I got a vacation planned for 2 weeks away. It's just 5 days. It won't cost you a whole bunch of money. You think you could make it? Would you like to go?" And then consider a month away, 30 days out. Consider 3 months away, 90 days out, and consider 6 months away. Half a year away. Hey, I'm planning a short vacation 6 months from now. Would you like to go? And think about these 10 people on your list and ask yourself if they would be able to accept your invitation. And if your answer is no, ask yourself why do you think that they would not accept your invitation, and come up with a few different reasons why you think that they would have to decline that invitation and not be able to join you on that vacation. So that's my action step, is for you, because I want to do this. I want you guys to just kind of maybe see sort of kind of what's going on out there and what people are thinking. And with that, John, I'm running over time here, so I'm going to let you get us out of here.
All right, then let's just go right to the prayer because we are out of time, and it goes, "O universe, I ask not for more riches, but for more wisdom with which to make better use of the riches given to me at birth through the power to control and direct my own mind to whatever ends I may desire." All right, see you all back here on Wednesday, and make it a productive week, and do the homework.
Yeah, and one more thing to go with that homework is you should probably reread, especially the 45-second presentation, because you're getting ready to start actually talking to people here very, very soon. And reread chapters 1 and 2 again, and also go ahead and read chapter 3 because we're going to be getting